Hi, hello and welcome. This is A. Charulata from St. Paul's, Dimavaram, Chengalpet. We are seeing the principles of management of class 12, the first chapter. In the first day, we saw about the meaning and definition of the management and also the concept of the management. And in the second class, we saw about whether a management is an art or science, and also we saw the difference between the management and administration. And in this class we are going to see about the management process. Before that, let us have a recap of the previous views. The recap of management is an art or a science. We compared the management with the science, and we compared the management with the art, and we came to the conclusion that management is neither a science nor a art. It is a combination of both the science and the art. And later we saw the difference between the management and the administration. Administration is concerned with framing the policies and setting objectives, whereas the management thus execute all the plans and the actions. And we saw about really 10 difference between the management and administration. Let us have a close view of that. Meaning, an organized way of managing people and things of a business administration is called the management, and the process of administrating an organization by a group of people is known as a administration. As I said, the example for the management, if it is a school, principal comes under the management, whereas a correspondent comes under the administration. That is, administration belongs to the top level, and the management belongs to the middle and the lower level. And the administration frames the policies, whereas the management implements the policies. And the area of the operation, management has works under the administration, and the administration have the full control over the activities of the organizations. These are the difference between the management and the administration we saw in the previous class. Just since it was not in the closer view, I am making it closer. Just go through this and read any 5 difference between the management and administration, and this will be your assignment. Okay, now in this class we are going to see about the management process. What do you mean by process? A process is something what a person does in the context of his duties or the responsibilities assigned by his higher authority. Okay, any authority, a higher authority will give you some responsibilities that has to be undertaken by the employee. That is called as a process, and the process is a ongoing cyclical operations. Okay, it consists of planning, directing, controlling. Everything comes under the management purpose. And they are telling the twin purpose of the management process. Why the management? What is the purpose of the management? Maybe the management want to increase the production, and by way of increasing the production to increase the profitability. And the other purpose is to maximum human welfare and satisfaction. So when the management does the production, it has to, that production, that product has to be satisfied by the that should satisfy the customers. For example, if they are preparing an umbrella, previously they were they were preparing the black color umbrellas, but it was not just interesting for the customers. They need it in somewhere different method, different ways. So they introduced the color umbrellas, and also they introduced an elastic which can be put in the head for the children. And all these are the some innovative or creative ideas which the management does in order to satisfy the customer. So this is the main purpose of the management. One is to increase the production, and by means of that they increase the profitability. And other one is to satisfy the human wants. And this is the management process. The next one is, this is, as I said, the management is a cyclical process. It is a coordination it is a management is a process, it is a purposive process, it is a social process, and it is a cyclical process. So how it is process? Management is a coordination. The management has to coordinate with all the men, machine, and material and money. That is the 4 M's of the management. They have to coordinate all these 4 resources in order to attain their goals. And the second one is a process. As I said, it is a cyclical process, and it has to be done with the managerial functions. What are the managerial functions? Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. The management has to plan, organize, and they have to put the proper staff, and they have to direct the staff, and they should have the control over the employees in order to attain their objectives or the goals. And the third one is management is a purposive process. It is directed towards the achievement of the predetermined goals or objectives. As I said earlier, management fixes the goals. It is a predetermined goals towards which the management moves with the resources. So without an objective, we don't have the destination to reach. So every management has a purpose. Here we saw about the twin purpose. And so every management has the purpose along with which they have to travel. And the next one is management is a social process. Already I have said management is the art of getting things done through and other people. So management does the things with the help of the 4 resources: men, material, money, and materials, machines. And it is a social, and it is also a cyclical process. And management is a purposive process. As I said, management has a predetermined goals, so it has to reach according to that. And the fifth one is management is a cyclical process. It represents a planning, action, control, replanning cycle. That is ongoing process. Every time they finish the production, again they will plan. Again they wanted to increase their production, and they want to increase the profit. By the same way, they have the planning, directing, staffing, controlling, organizing, everything. So it is a cyclical process. So if you see the figure closer, you can see that. So when they put the input, men, machinery, materials, and they process through the planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, they get the desired goals. What is the desired goal? It is the end result, or it is an output. Okay. The next one is principles of scientific management. M. Frederick Winslow Taylor has given the scientific management principles, and his principles, he is very much interested in harmony in the workplace. That is, the management and the employees should should have a rapport between them. They should have a harmony among them. Harmony means a friendship. They shouldn't have a difference of opinion among them. That was his main goal. W. Taylor's main aim is to establish a harmony relationship in the workplace. And his scientific principles are classified into 5. First one is science not rule the thumb. The second one is harmony not discord. Third one is mental revolution. Fourth one is cooperation not individualism. And the fifth one is development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Now we are going to see the first principles of Taylor, propounded by the Taylor about the scientific management. Science not rule of thumb means, that is, the management has to take the decision according to their personal judgments. They would have come across some experiences. Based on that, they have to take the decisions, and the decision should be based on the scientific principles. That is, the cause and effect relationship. When there is a sound of an alarm, that is the cause, and we wake up, it is the effect. That is called as a scientific inquiry about. In the same way, when we ask the workers to do the work, they have to give the increased production. This is a cause and effect relationship. So the principle is concerned with the selecting the best way of performing the job through applying the scientific analysis, and not by the perception or not by the hit and trial. That is, they are not allowed to do the trial and error method. They have to do the work according to the as per the personal judgments. And the second one is harmony not discord. Harmony is nothing but the friendship. no, there should be a unity among the management and the employees. So there should be a complete harmony between the workers and the management. They should realize the importance of each other. Without the management, worker cannot do anything, and worker cannot also do anything without the management. Both they should go hand in hand. So they should realize that only if the organization increases the profit, we will get the good payment. They should realize that. And the same way, the management has to realize that we cannot produce the goods without the workers. So they should have a good understanding between them. They have given one example in the Japanese companies. No, if the workers, they are not satisfied with something, and if they want something, na, they will not work, but they will work by using the by wearing the black badge, it seems. They will not go out of the work. They will not for the union or the strike or something like that. They will be working, and they will be increasing the production, thereby increasing the profit to the management. But they will express their disagreement by wearing the black color badge. That is the harmony between the management and the workers. We will work for you. We are not going to affect your profit. We will increase your production. But please request here, have a concern about our demand. They will ask in such a way. Okay. And the third one is mental revolution. Management as well as the workers should aim to increase the profits of the organization. Both the management and the workers, only when they desire to increase the profit, only then it can be attained. Only if the management is thinking about the profit and the workers are not thinking about the profit, then it will not work out. So workers should put their best efforts to the company to make out the profit, and on the other hand, management should share the profit with the workers. So if they get more profit, now they have to increase their salary of the workers by encouraging them or by motivating them to produce more goods in order to earn the profit. And the fourth one is cooperation, not individualisms. See, workers should be considered as a part of the management, and they should not be allowed to take part in the decision. They should be allowed to take part in the decision making process of the management. Supposing if the management is taking some decision that we have to produce this much of units within this stipulated time, now they have to inform the workers. They have to consult them whether it is possible. Will you able to do that? They have to consult. So while making any decision in the management, they have to consider the workers, and they also should consult the workers so that they can raise their production and thereby profit of the management of the organization. Okay. And the fifth one is development of each and every person to his or greatest efficiency and prosperity. So efficiency of the organization depends upon the skill and the capabilities of the employees or the workers. So in order to attain the efficiency, steps should be taken right from the selection of the employees. See, if they are selecting an employee, he should have a good skill. He should have the capable of doing the work within the stipulated period. Only then the management can attain the objectives or the predetermined goals. So efficient employees produce more, and with that they can earn more. So this ultimately helps to attain the efficiency and the prosperity, and it is useful for both the organization and the employees. Okay. So this is the principles propounded by F.W. Taylor. So this is a scientific principle. Let us have the recap. The first one is science, not rule of thumb. The management has to take the decision by their personal judgments. Harmony, not discord, means there should be a complete harmony between the workers and the management. And the third one is mental revolution. Mental revolution means workers should put their best effort, and the management should share the profit of the company with the workers. And cooperation, not individualism. Fourth one. So workers should be considered as a part of the management. They should be treated as an integral part of the organization, and important decisions should be taken after considering the consulting with the workers. And the last one is development of each and every persons to the greater efficiency and prosperity. It means so in order to efficiency, the management has to select an employee who have the necessary skill and capabilities in order to attain the efficiency and prosperity for the organization. So tomorrow, this is the today's session, and tomorrow we will see about the principles of modern management. Thank you, children.